ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. We'll read the first 3 verses. Verse number 1. मनो हि द्विविधं प्रोक्तं शुद्धं चाशुद्धमेव च अशुद्धं कामसङ्कल्पं शुद्धं कामविवर्जितम्. Verse number 2. मन एव मनुष्याणां कारणं बन्धमोक्षयोः बन्धाय विषयासक्तं मुक्तं निर्विषयं स्मृतम्. यतो निर्विषयस्यास्य मनो इष्यते अतो निर्विषयं नित्यं मनः कार्यं मुमुक्षुणा. मुमुक्षुणा मनः कार्यं. Karyam to be done, kartavyam. Mumukshuna, meaning those who are desirous of liberation. Mumukshu is moktamichuhu mumukshuhu. We are all bubukshuhu. We are all bhoktamichuhu. Mukta means not just eating, experiencing the world. Bhoga is not necessarily only eating. Any indriya vishaya is a bhoga vastu. Seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, all that. So that's why he said, Indriyarteshu bhogeshu manohi bhokta natu anyaya. Mana eva bhokta. Indriyani karanani. Sense organs are only instruments of joy. Body is abode of joy. Mind is the experiencer of joy. So therefore, who is the bhokta here? Indriyarteshu bhogeshu bhokta manohi bhokta natu anyaha. So adau krutva manas sakshim darpane pratibimbavat. So what is the sadhana that needs to be done to achieve this nirvishayatvam? Literal meaning of nirvishaya means no object. Nirvishayam. Nir means ni, opposite. Not present. Absence of. So nirvishaya does not mean absence of objects. If that is the case, we have to run away from all things in this world. So nirvishaya means where the mind does not have any more inclination to enjoy the experience, enjoy or experience the object. Therefore, although that is very difficult because we are so used to, so accustomed to, so habituated to experience the world constantly from the day we are born till whatever, till we die. Paranchika nivadranat swayambhuhu tasmat parang pashyadinantaratman. Because the very manufacturing defect is there. Upanishad says the indriyas are meant to experience world outside. They are always of the nature of extrovertedness. So eyes, ears, nose, everything are, every one of them is outward. Paranchikani vidranat swayambhuhu. Parang pashyati. Outside only they see. Na antaratman. They don't turn it within. Therefore, kaise karenge? How do we make sure that we, in spite of, in the midst of objects, how do we obtain nirvishayatvam? Sakshi bhav rakho. Just like a child, Gurudev used to say, a family of one child and parents, they are going into a marketplace, and the child is so excited to get into the toy shop, to go and buy any time and get every toy into the hand possible. Whereas the husband and wife, father and mother are not interested in this. They are only interested in the price tag, how much is. Otherwise, they are not interested to play with any of the toys. So after that, they buy one or two toys, and then they go to the next they go to the sari shop. So the man becomes sakshi only. He cannot do anything. One person, he went to the shop, and his wife was busy going here, there. She is not found anywhere. So he didn't know how to bring her back to the place where he is. So he went to a strange lady who was standing there. How are you? And started to talk to her. She said, I don't know you. Doesn't matter. Because when she sees me with you, she will immediately come. Immediately she came. Where or what are you doing? Okay, that's what I wanted you to come here. So, nirvishayaha. So, for a person who is not having any inclination about these things, in sari shop, the husband is sakshi. Shoe shop they go. Obviously, wife becomes sakshi. The boy obviously is sakshi only there. Why? Because they have no interest. So that is why he said, Ado krutva manas sakshim. How is it to be done? Mano. So that is darpane pradibimbavat. Like when you look at yourself in the mirror, what is there in the mirror, you are sakshi to it. You correct here only, not there. Correct? So as far as that reflection is concerned, you are only watching. What are you correcting? What are you adjusting here? Similarly, when I look at the world, whatever it be, I have to check how the mind is working towards that object. Not the object is of interest. How my mind is gathering momentum to go towards that. Out of its previous memories, previous impressions, vasanas. That's why Bhagavan says, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya degina. When a person does not entertain the objects, when the objects are not there, then mind naturally withdraws. Niraharasya degina vishayaha vinivartante. A person who is not interested, the object would not have any pull over him. They cannot pull him. But the impressions may remain. Rasavarjam rasopyasya. So when we start to watch the mind while we are in the midst of objects, not only objects, people also. Some maybe we may not like, some we may like, some we would like to get rid of. Watch the mind, how it is having so many different, multiple, mixed thoughts about things. When you go to the restaurant, look at the menu, but not, start looking at, oh, I love the tongue, everything starts watering, very thought of it. So watch that. That is why Ado Manakritva Sakshim Darpane Pratibimba. Tasmat Vilakshanam Nyatva Swayam Nirvishayam Bravet. Understanding mind as independent of the objects. Understanding the Sakshi here is independent of the thoughts. Tasmat Vilakshanam Nyatva Swayam Nirvishayam Bhavet. Then once you become the witness of not the objects outside, but also become witness of the thoughts that are arising in the mind, then you understand Aham Tasmat Vilakshanam. I am different. I am a witness to this thought. And thereafter, once you become witness, then Vishayams are there also, or Nirvishayam Bhavet. It becomes absent. Because when the thoughts of those objects do not rise in your mind, then it is as good as they are not there. In sleep also, do you think the world has disappeared? You disappear from the world. Isn't it? In our experience is what? The world is there, but I am slowly withdrawing from my mind the world, and then slowly, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. So thought about the sleep, what does it mean? I do not want to entertain any more of these objects. So when you withdraw thus, especially here in the sadhana, even you are not closing your eyes, you are not running away from the object, but the thoughts that arise in your mind, you start witnessing and say, this is, I am witness, I am not this thought. So that way, Tasmat Vilakshanam Nyatva Swayam Nirvishayam Bhavet Nirvishaye Vritti Shunya. When the thoughts of objects no more, even the memories of the thoughts also will start disappearing at that point. And when the impressions also slowly become weak, then Nirvishayam Vritti Shunya Amani Bhavati Sadhakaha. Then only a person become Amani. Amani means without the mind. So Guruji has written there in the commentary, Puja Jabascha Smaranat Bhagavat Bhajanenacha Chitta Shuddhir Yetasmat Bhaved Tasmat Tebi Karyam Mokshuna. Puja or Japa or Smaranam, Bhagavat Smaranam or Bhajana, all these things are helpful means to reduce the intensity of thoughts. Chitta Shuddhir Bhaved Tasmat Tebi Karyam Mumukshuna. Alright. Now having said this, that's why he said said Ado Nirvishayam Nityam Manak Karyam. Manaha Karyam. Always one should engage in that. Now, this mind, which we understand as flow of thoughts, need to be brought to an end. This Upanishad is pretty straightforward. It doesn't beat around the bush. Straightforward. Actually, by 5th verse, the topic of the book is over. It's the Upanishad Rishi finished. I am done with this. Rest of the things are all just for more explanation only. But whatever I want to say, it's complete. So the 4th verse he says, we read here. Nirasta Vishaya Sangam Sanniruddham Manohriti Yadayat Atmano Bhavam Tata Tatparamam Padam Nirasta Vishaya Sangam Sanniruddham Manohriti Yadayat Yatmano Bhavam Tata Tatparamam Padam. So, Nirasta, having given up. nirasta vishaya asangam. Asangam, attachment. Sangha is association. See, Sangha is association. Kannada Sangha, Telugu Sangha, the association. There are no attachments. But when you get attached, what happens? It's called Asanga. Asakti. Asanchate. Sanj is the root word there. So, Asakti. So, Asakti is attachment. Sangha is not attachment. Sangha is mere association. What is association? The thoughts going towards the thing and it becomes getting familiar with that. Sangha. But when the thoughts are uncontrollably, continuously thinking, uska naam hai asakti. Once in a while, if you look at it and then, oh, I like it, that's okay. I want it. I cannot live without that. Then become asakti. So, the asanga, vishaya asangam nirasta. Nirasta vishaya asangam. Mano hridi sanniruddham. Mind needs to be arrested, as though controlled and brought to the heart. Now, one would wonder, wow. Cast a mind, now it is heart. What is heart here? Remember, first verse of Saddarshanam. Sat pratyaya kim vihaya santam hriddesha chinta rahito hridakyaha. Chinta rahitaha hrid akyaha. So hrid is not the pumping heart, as Guru Ramana Maharshi would clearly put it. Whenever you are referring to yourself, what do you say? Hey, come here, and somebody calls your name. Me. Where are you touching? That is heart. You don't say me. We say me. So, the center of your own being, it is not a physical place, but from where the thoughts arise, that is called heart. It is the very root of the thought. The root of the thought I am. Even physically, in the Mahavakyas, the Mahavakyas are 4 in number. Prajnanam Brahma. The second one is I am Atma Brahma. This I am word is this. So there Gurudev writes, the teacher points out what it is. So he will not say one stone, that is I am Atma Brahma. No, not the tree. I am. I am means what? This. So Hrit I am. Satyam I am. Sat is Hrit. So Hrit I am, therefore it's called Hridayam. Ramana Maharshi clearly points out, therefore, Hriddesha, Esha, Hriddesha. Hriddesha. So, Hrid is the Desha, the space or the spot, which you refer as you, Hriddesha. Chinta Rahitaha, that which is devoid of thought, is called Hrid Akyaha. So, the heart is none other than what you refer as I, and the core of it. This is not the physical heart. If it would have been the physical heart, all the heart surgeons would be realized by this time. They would have found it. Like, see, sitting there, inside. Atman, alone, all by himself. So, Hridi, Mano Niruddhyam, Sanniruddham. Yata ayati, when it brings that point, Atmanaha bhavam. So thereafter, Manaha has, see, it's like a river merging into the ocean, it becomes ocean. It does not remain as river. You know why? Because the very poor joke comes here. Because it cannot reverse. River cannot become reverse. Why? Because once it is merged in the ocean, it is losing itself. Similarly, mind merging in the Hridi become Hridakya, Atma. It cannot remain independent. Yata ayadi atmanaha bhavam tata tat paramam padam. That is what is called supreme abode. Tata, then tat paramam padam. Fourth verse is complete almost. क्या करना है? मन को हृदय के पास ले जाना है, उसको उसमें है ना डूब जाना है. You get merged into that. उसके बाद आप कौन है तुम? What are you then? See, physical body, our physical body is constantly changing. It is said in our Vedanta, there are 6 changes that are taking place, right? Shadvikaraha. Dehasya, sharirasya, shadvikaraha. Asti, jayate, vardate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, vinashyati. It is, when it's born, it grows, it changes, it decays and dies. Right? And every stage you need a doctor. Birth के लिए doctor चाहिए. Then primary care. And what is that called? Children? Pediatrics. So growing. Then changes, middle age changes starting, or the teenage changes that take place. Then apakshiyate. I mean, it is called that gerontologists, geriatrics. Then final, to certify. Finished. Birthday also you need a certification from them, and that's also. One joke I always remember. 2 brothers were doctors, in a small village, and they had gone for a marriage, and when they came back next day or following day, they were carrying a body out. So what happened? So somebody was sick, and then he died. So brothers looked at each other. Both are here. Who made that possible? Anyway, that is really bad about the doctors. But so just like our body goes through 6 changes, I was thinking yesterday, mind also goes through 6 changes. So I wrote 2 verses on that. Atmaiva manas. So first of all, we must understand astitvam. Manasaha astitvam katam bhavati. Atmano manasostitvam ahankarena jayate. मनसः अस्तित्वम कथम? क्या है अस्तित्व मनस का? उसका independent existence is there. Can the mind independently exist? If it is so, then in the sleep also you should be aware, you should be thinking. But we don't, thank God. So, Atma eva manasostitvam. Atma eva manasah astitvam. Because Atman is what? By nature is Satchidananda Swarupa. Sat is the Swarupa of Atman, existence. So in fact, Atma eva sarva vishayanam astitvam. We have been seeing in Panchadashi. Existence is the primary factor of everything. So sarva vishayanam astitvam Atma eva. Mula astitvam. So Atma eva manasostitvam. And then when does it become an independent entity? As soon as we wake up. And what is waking up? Ahankar. Aham. Ye deh mein hoon. So moment you wake up, the first thing is mana. In the form of a thought. I am. Ahankarena jayate. Ahankar se utpann hota hai. Ahankar hi man hai. In other words. So Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says there is ahamvriti is the ahankar. That is the primary starting point. Beyond the consciousness, the independent existence of the mind is in the form of ahamvritti. Ahankarena jayate. Now, when does it start to grow? Vardate vastu chintanat. Vishaya chintanat vardate. When does it start to multiply itself? When does it start to, grow? As soon as you wake up, you don't think about everything, right? One by one, one by one, one by one. Oh, I'm hungry. Until then, what happened? You're not hungry? Is it not as soon as you, I'm hungry? So, until that point, you have not identified with the body and related objects that you need. Moment vastu chintana takes place, then vardate vastu chintanat. Then, not everybody seeing the same world, but not everybody want the same thing. Why it is so? Parinamam vasanayaha. Parinamam. Parinamam means parivartanam, change, modification takes place out of vasana. Even as the children grow, not all of them grow in the same way. Physically they may grow, but which direction they go decided by what? Their growth is depending upon their vasanas, deep impression that they have been carrying. So, vardate vastu chintanat parinamam vasanayaha. Then comes the stage of what? Slowly. After growth is what? There is a certain amount of status quo for some time, and then slowly start decaying. What is that? Kshiyate kama bhogacha. Everyday life also we see. We know we want breakfast and we eat that. After that, okay, now I'm tired. And when we keep enjoying the bhoga of the world, then sukata kriyate rama bhogaha paschat hanta sharire roga. Bhagavan Shankaracharya. Sukata kriyate rama bhogaha. First he goes on enjoying, indulging everywhere. Paschat. What happens afterwards? Sharire, in the body there is roga starts. From bhoga, roga. So roga is the cause for decay. So here, there he says, Sukata kriyate rama bhogaha paschat hanta sharire roga yadyabi loke maranam sharanam tadabina munjati papa charanam. Even though everybody knows maranam is a sharanam, finally it is there, but nobody stops. So here, kshiyate kama bhogacha. Slowly it gets decayed. Mind becomes exhausted. Then what happens? Layasthane vinashyati. When you go to sleep, layasthane vinashyati. For a temporary period of time, it vinashyati. So just like body has got a rebirth, mind has got also rebirth. Next day again, fresh, ready. Like a child, which is so much of, vigor and it runs here, there, then goes there, and then slowly grows, slowly die. Like the birth of a person and slowly growing up, excited, doing everything and slowly slowing down, stops. Similarly, every day, the mind has a birth. Every day, mind grows. Every day, it is decaying. Every day, it dies. Then again it comes back. So, layasthane vinashyati manasopi shariravat shadvikara itiryate. Manasaha api shariravat. Like the body, mind also shadvikaraha itiryate. Manasaha shadvikaraha. These are all called 6 modifications of the mind. Now, we must understand that mind is of this constant changing thing, but see, anything constantly changing, you cannot stop it. But if you understand the reason why it is changing, you can become more wise. You will not be affected by it. Just like the weather is also constantly changing, when we know that we can't do anything, and you become wise, you let it be so. But then you will find out where it is starting from. So that is why Manasaho. So again, one more set verse I wrote. Manasaha moolam atmaiva. What is the moolam of manaha? Manasaha moolam atmaiva sarvasya hridi sustitam. It is there in everybody's heart. Moolam, manasaha moolam atma sarvasya hridi sustitam. Sustitam. Not swastitam. Sustu means very comfortably sitting there. Manasaha moolam atmaiva sarvasya hridi sustitam. Niruddhi margam manasaha. So how do we then bring the cessation of the mind? Niruddhi margam manasaha gaudapadena darshitam. Bodhitam also. Gaudapadena dor. So Gaudapada is the said to be the Paramaguru of Shankaracharya. And he wrote the commentary on Mandukya, now considered as the PhD program of Vedanta. Mandukya. Only very few verses. But it's one of the smallest Upanishads. But Gaudapada, the commentator there, he wrote 100 verses to explain that. 100 or 1000, 100 I think, I'm not sure. No, it is. Let me check, I'm not sure about that. So, quite a bit of explanation he gave for each verse. Because they are like, Mandukya's Upanishads, the mantras are like sutras. You have to open up to understand what it is. So, about mind arresting or bringing the end of the mind, Gaudapada Charya has written so beautifully many things. Now, you see, in this Karika, first one, anybody would ask this question, how mind and consciousness are connected? One which we know, another which we don't know. Mind we know, at least there are thoughts, feelings, emotions, ideas, opinions. Constantly we have that. But what we do not see is that one which is called Moolam, Atma, that we don't see. So just because you don't see does not mean it doesn't exist, which we should come out of this confusion. जो नहीं दिखता है वो नहीं है, ऐसा कह सकते हैं. That which is not seen is not there. Then obviously, I have never seen your brain. What is my conclusion? You have seen your brain? No. Then? So, that cannot be concluded like that. I have never seen many parts of my body within my body. Do you think that is not there? So, how can we say that the mind and consciousness are interconnected? They are not interconnected. They are one and the same. That's what Mandukya Karika would say. It is like the rope appearing to be the snake. Similarly, consciousness appearing to be the mind. There is no actual physical difference at all. Appearance, there is differences. A thing appears to be something else. Ye Maya. Or what does a Mayavi or a magician does? He will make you see things that are not there and make you not see what is there. He does two things. What is there, he will not show. What is not there, he will show. So you may take whatever he shows as real and whatever he hides as not there. So here, how can we say that the mind and mind is none other than disguised form of the self. So now you see, he says in Karika number 29, Yata swapne dvaya bhasam spandate mayaya manah. Tata jagrat dvaya bhasam spandate mayaya manah. Manah mayaya dvaya bhasam spandate yata swapne. In the dream, the mind is appearing to be dual. Is it not true? In the dream, who is watching the dream? Who is watching the dream? Who is enjoying the dream? Who is suffering in the dream? Me, the mind. Okay, what are you seeing? Who created that? I'm telling you, Swamiji, my wife, she creates a lot of things on my head. She may probably create so many things outside, but in your dream, you are the creator and you are the witness to that creation. You are the created and the created. So two, as it has become two, right? So how can the mind become two? It happens. Yata swapne dvaya abhasam spandate. It happens, appears mayaya manah. So it is said in Kaivalya Upanishad, Swapne irta shunye sridisva shaktya. It creates on its own. Even though the external world is absent, there is a world of experience created in this dream. So, yata swapne dvaya bhasam spandade mayam tata jagrat dvaya bhasam. In the same way in the waking world, spandade mayaya manah. This is very hard to digest. How can in the waking world also, it is a world that is experienced by me, is created by the mind? That is the standpoint of Karika or Mandukya Karika. It is said in Atma Bodha also, Tavat Satyam Jagat Bhati Shuktika Rachatam Yata Yavanna Jnayate Brahma Sarvadhishtana Madvayam. So, just like a person mistaking the shell to be a silver, like walking on the seashore, suddenly he finds a bright thing there, because some people walk with that rod, So they try to find out any metal is available there. So it look like bright silver. So, Tavat Satyam Jagat Bhati, the world also appears to be like that. Shuktika Rajatam Yata, like that of the shell appearing to be like a silver. Yavanna Jnayate Brahma. So long as one does not know Brahman, Tavat. Shuktika. So, Yavanna Jnayate Brahma, Sarva Adhishtanam Advayam. There is no two things here. That is said in Atma Bodh. So, that is means, see, when we look at the appearance of the snake, it cannot be there without the presence of the rope which is supporting it. And there are no two. The one is there, another appears on it. Similarly, mind alone is there in dream. What appears on it is the dream world. The dream world appears on the top of the mind, like that of snake appears on the top of the rope. Mind itself is an appearance on the consciousness. It's a three-layer there. In dream, consciousness on the top of, there is a mind, on the top of it, the world that is created. Here also, at this present moment also, consciousness on the top of it, there is mind, and mind on the top of it, there is world. So when we do the meditation, first of all, we are trying to withdraw the world to the mind, then mind to the Atman. You directly take from world to the Atman, it will not work, because the mind will come and disturb you there. That is why Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Shuddhi again and again is brought in. Without that, mind without being pure, being made pure, it will become poor. Because it is that which is supporting the world and taking the support from Atman. So withdraw the world into the mind. Yachet. Yachet vang manasi prajnah. Tadyachet jnana atmani. Jnanatmani mahati niyachet. Tadyachet shanta atmani. Upanishad clearly says, Vak manasi yachet. Vak means all activities. Vak means all activities. Manasi yachet, meaning take these activities into the mind. Yachet vak manasi prajnah tadyachet jnanamatmani. Then from that mind has to go to buddhi, which has the jnanam. Jnanatmani mahati niyachet. Now, that mind, intellect of ours is understanding the activities of the mind as extrovertedness. It brings in that buddhi also, which is having the jnanam, should understand the totalness of that consciousness. Mahati niyachet. Which is now presently being active as my mind, as my buddhi, due to Maya. Tadyachet shantatmani. Brahman. Mahat here means Ishvara in the form of the whole Jagat, he is working there. So here, coming back to the point here, is world should be merged into the mind, mind should be merged into the Atman. If we directly try to understand the world directly into the, then mind will come in between. No, what are you doing? Because it doesn't want to lose its presence. Without me, why would you enter? It's like Hanumanji should be worshipped before you enter into Rama's abode. Isn't it? Rama duvare, tum rakhware, hotana agnya, bin paisare. Without giving paisa to him, sorry, without your permission, without Hanuman's permission, you cannot enter the abode of Ram. Right? So without going through the mind, you cannot get in. So manasa eva idam aptavyam, Upanishad says. Use the mind to enter into Atman, but that is entry point. So bring the objects and the world into the mind, withdraw into the mind, and mind into the heart. So that's why nirasya vishayasangam manasi. Then sanniruddham manohruti. First, vishayasangam niruddham. To bring vishayasangam nirasya, having removed the vishayasangam, attachment to the objects by which you are come to the mind, then manohruti. So, just like a snake which is appearing on the rope does not have an independent existence. It cannot stay away from the rope. A rope hai, a snake hai. Nahin. Where the rope is, there itself is the snake. There itself is the snake. Not outside is, not above it, not in the left or right. There. So upon putting the light on the rope, you come to realize there was no snake at all. In the same way, only when the mind is withdrawn into that heart consciousness, you come to realize what I have been thinking, that there is a mind. Aini. Manasam tu kim margane krute naiva manasam. Bharnavana is put it very simply there. Even in Saddarshan he says that where is the Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, where is it present? So long as Ahankar is there, these three are definitely present. If somebody says so, but the question is whether the Lord has got physical existence or not. His Lord is formful or not formful. What is the answer? Rupa hai or na rupa hai? Bhagavan ka. So first question, Ranavarshi asks, do you have form? Yes. Then Bhagavan has form. Don't worry. If you yourself has a form, Bhagavan also has got a form. Why not? If you understand you don't have a form, then only you realize that Atma also doesn't have a form. So here, yada ayadi Atma bhavam. So shifting the attention, that is the sadhana here. From what? From snake to the rope. So also shift the attention from Vishayas to Manaha, Manaha to Atman. This is the Jnana Abhyas. The practice of knowledge is not any other, other activity of the mind, another activity of the mind. Aisa nahi karna. So in the name of sadhana, what we do is all things except questioning the mind. Japa karo, puja karo, kshetradhan karo. Karo. So the mind is very happily, we'll do it. Ritual karein. Because it is not questioned, no. So long as it is not questioned, it will encourage you. Chalo, karo. Ritual karo, japa karo, puja karo, ye sab karo. Don't ask me. Don't ask my question. Whether I exist or not, don't ask that question. If you turn around and ask the question, do you exist? Who is asking me to do all these things? Then it's a problem. So then it will protest. Disguised consciousness in the form of mind is what we experience. So here, that is why it is said, attention should be moved from the object to the thoughts to the self. That is what is pointed out here. This shifting of the attention is what going to end in Amani Bhava, the state of no mind. So what is the sadhana here? Thoughts are false, and only thoughts are false. Where do they fall? They fall into awareness. Thought false. False where? Falls into awareness. One is FALSE, another is FALLS. That's why Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, Ahamayam kuto bhavati chinvadaha ayipatatyaham nija vicharanam. Aham kutaha. What is this aham? What is this vritti called aham, which begins the day? That begins at the beginning of the day as aham. Ayam kuto bhavati chinvadaha. When you start thinking like this, ayi padatyaham. Ayi means patati. Aham patati. Where? Nija vicharanam. That is called nija vicharanam. That is a true enquiry. He does not, therefore, when somebody says that I want to do this puja or that, this one, he will just keep quiet. Karo. But you are not going to the problem. Actual problem is somewhere else. You are trying to do symptomatic treatment. So, if you are sneezing, somebody gives you a tissue paper. Is that a solution? Is it a solution? Tissue paper cleaner. You mean to say it stopped? It stops, it comes back again. So painkiller is not a medicine. Is a painkiller is a medicine? Painkiller is not a medicine. Unless the inflammation is removed and the cause is removed, by merely avoiding the pain is not a solution to the problem. Similarly, the mind is getting disturbed, and so instead of doing that, I will do that. Instead of going here, I will go there. Mind will very happily will do that. Don't ask me. My astitvam you should not question. So, now you see, you mean to say then, you just now you said Atman, on that is a mind, and then there is a world. On the layer of the mind is only the world. Therefore, there are two causes appears to be Atman and the mind. Cause of the world is what? Atman is the primary cause, mind is the secondary cause, or because of the mind there is world, and the cause of the mind is Atman. There appears to be Atman, Manaha, and Jagat. So, are there two causes here? Karika says no, definitely not. So he says, Advayam chadvaya basam manaswapnena samshaya. Advayam chadvaya pasam tada jagrana samshaya. He compares Swapna and Jagat. The dream and the waking, intrinsically there is no difference at all. One you see closing the eyes, another you see opening the eyes. That's all the difference. Just because he is opening the eyes and seeing does not mean that is real. Just because you are closing the eyes and seeing does not mean it is not unreal. Meaning in that way, whatever you see, whether opening the eyes and seeing or closing the eyes or seeing, who is seeing? Mind only. Is that not the mind is seeing both the worlds, dream as well as the waking? No, Swamiji, it is outside. Now tell me, what is outside? What do you mean by outside? Are you seeing the object outside or in your mind? Where are you seeing? Where are you seeing? Seeing, where are you seeing? Object may be there, but where are you seeing? So there is no doubt that there is a non-dual mind appears to be dual in dream. Advayam cha, even though it is non-dual, dvaya abhasam manaha. Mind is not a two entity there. The seeing mind and the world mind. Or in this state of dream, you say that it's a dream, or me, the dreamer, and there is a dream world. There are two things. No. Is it not true that one itself is appearing as the two? Even though Advayam, Dvaya Abhasa. Advayam chadvaya basam manaswapnena samshaya. Advayam chadvaya basam tata jagrat na samshaya. But then, so Swamiji, that means my children they don't exist. My dog, my cat, my house. So when it comes to real, Vedanta, it will, without any mixing of words, it will tell the truth. That's why it is very bitter, very many people. Swamiji, I heard this satsang, so can you give me some sweet at the end of it? It's too much to take. See, true Vairagya cannot happen, and without Vairagya there cannot be freedom. Without true Vairagya there can never be real freedom. And therefore, Vairagya to take place, there are two ways to go about it. One, get rid of things. That's what we try to do. Or, I don't need it. This firmness has to come. I don't need it. When you don't need it, let it be there. Even if you make most sumptuous Bangan Kabarta. I don't have any hatred towards that. But I don't need it. So, Vairagya ho gaya nahi? When you know that, see, in the religious parlance, what they do, Bhagavan ke liye chhod do. Right? That they do. When you do Kashi, go there to Kashi, and then you give up. Why do they say that? You cannot get rid of thing, but you can mentally renounce it. Manasi sanyasam krutva. Bhagavan also says, sanyasta manasa. In mind, if you do the sannyas, not necessarily you have to give up things. So, what you most like if you start giving up? then the vairagya will become stronger. What you don't like, you give up, there's nothing there. So, it so happened, I gave up on this gulab jamun. So, I like that very much. Recently, somebody's home, they said, we have sweets which are usually made in the usual way, in India, but they make it in a drier form. You've seen that's a new trend that is coming in. Everything will become dry, so it will not have the juiciness, but dry. But they have the same sweetness. So then they showed me gulab jamun dried. Swamiji, this is not the gulab jamun you gave up. It is the gulab jamun of a different variety, which is actually not gulab jamun. So I had the inclination. Why not? See, mind is, I'm telling you, very peculiar it is. रसावर्जम, उसका रस नहीं जाता है. So mind is the one which is, when the vairagya takes place, vairagya can take place only when you say, I don't need it. Until then, it will not go. Today I don't need it. That's a mistake you do. Today, tomorrow you need it then. Swamiji, I am going to give up smoking from tomorrow. Why not now? Today I will enjoy. No. That means that idea of that it is a joy is still there. You are not giving up that. अब ये कब छोड़ना है? अभी छोड़ना है. Don't say day after tomorrow. So I'm only 45, 50 I will leave it. Why wait? That means you still have idea of joy in that. So the mind, so there are layers if you think. It is not true. Mind itself is the world. It is not the world, mind, and then Atman. No. Mind itself is the world. And what is mind? Atman itself is the mind. So where is the question of duality comes? The notion of duality is because, see, if I give reality to the world, then mind is different from the world. Correct or not? वहाँ जगत वहाँ है, मन यहाँ है. Yaar, Indriyas are nothing but mind in expressed form. So sense organs are none other than expressed form of the mind. Without the mind, eyes, ears, none of them will work. So world is there, mind is here. So duality I have already created. And then you say, Atman is here, mind is outside that. No. World and mind are one and the same. Mind and Atman is one and the same. When the disturbed nature of consciousness is the mind, and in that mind which is disturbed, there is appearance of the world. There is no difference between the rope and the snake. It is a misunderstood rope is snake. See, when the rope is discovered, is it not at once there is absence of fear and etc. All that associated with the rope, the snake disappears at once. It is not that, oh, now I saw the rope, now slowly I have to work on the fear of snake. Once you've seen the rope, where is a question of fear of snake out of that? So therefore, jnanam directly holds that vairagya in a firm place. Without that knowledge of the rope, there cannot be any fear, removal of fear of the snake. Once the rope is known, you don't need to worry about the fear and agitations and insecurity and then running away of all that happened because you are seeing the snake. Similarly, when Atman is known, then all associated problems of the mind is at once over. Gurudev used to say that if it's a criminal, there is a criminal and who has become a Swami. And he has been living like a Swami for a long time, even though he's a murderer originally. So slowly, when the cold case, the police took up the cold case to find out who the fellow, and they kept on tracking. What did you do? What did you do? Where is he? Where is he? Finally found that this is the Swami. So they decided, they prepared the arrest warrant and then arrived at the ashram gates. There was some function going on, a lot of people are inside. So the police slowly entered. So they, even the people who are there, yes, you have come here to see the Swami. They smiled. He is dead. He attained samadhi. He just gives the example. So he has attained samadhi. Samadhi? Yes, he's no more. What do they do with the warrant? Tear it up. Because it's of no use. In the same way, when ahankar ka mrityu ho gaya, then what can the world do into him anymore? Can the world, anything can they do to that person? Tasya na karyam vidyate. So many different appearances that happens in the state of dream, even though there is only one. So also all the nama rupa atmakam jagat manayeva. Mind alone is that. So what is the proof that the mind itself is appearing as the world of plurality? So that is answered in the next karika. We'll see that too. Few more karikas before you go to the next dose, which will say that's enough. If you understand, that's enough. Amritabindu Upanishad is over. So Bindu, drop by drop by drop. Every drop will intensify the immortality. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om, I have a small announcement to make. So next week we will not have the Sunday class. Instead, we will have